Hi everyone, welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Christian Bible. I use my uncle James's version of the Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel. That would be King James to you. and it became the Book of Zion, a self-fulfilling prophecy. A book about a prophecy about a book about the prophecy and the person, me, who wrote it. And I am giving you the Book of Zion free because that's my job. Money has no place in Zion. So to publish it for money would be sacrilegious, which is why I'm publishing it here. Today I'm reading from the 17th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible, which is the commentary to the Book of Zion that I had to write in order to publish the Book of Zion. I'm on the 17th chapter. It contains the 14th chapter from the Book of Zion itself, and that chapter is called Out My People's Transgressions, and I'm going to pick up where I left off last time. Now, our 420 camp out for freedom will be the glory of our age. Our actions will change the world for the better. The Grey themselves will come to sit as judge between our people and their oppressors. Generations will celebrate our victory and the new age of humanity that will dawn as we pitch our tents to demand justice in an unjust society. But the Grey are not just the judge in the trial of Zion versus the world. They will also be the counsel for both the defense and the prosecution, just like the judges and lawyers for the defense and prosecution in the war on drugs. The trial is predetermined, just like mine was. But with the Grey, there will be a true trial. The truth will come out. All evidence will be presented. And therein lies the problem for the governments. The truth will set my people free, and it will find the world guilty as charged. The guilty verdict will end the prohibition on drugs. The Grey will ensure truth and justice are served. Our innocence will be proven. Our standing in society will change. The knowledge of our birthright as Grey, and the desire for interspecies contact will ensure Zionites an honored place in a society that looks upon us as the embodiment of evil. Our right to exist and the truth of our identity will prove our innocence in the eyes of society. The Torah promises the people of Zion and Israel eternal peace. Our descendants will live in a secure society, which is as big as our galaxy. They will be known as a delightful people, a people who will be the voice of the Grey to all of humanity from this moment forward, for as long as the galactic society continues. That is the promise of the Grey. We, the children of Zion, have a glorious future. We only need to embrace our true identity. Our music asks, who are we? We are Zion, the children of the God of the earth, the Grey aliens. When we call, they will come. We will be exonerated from all of our so-called sins. Our place in society will be established, and we, as the people, will thrive. We alone have the ability to communicate with our creators. When we call out to them, they will hear. We as humans are sinners, but we are forced to sin by society. All of our wrongdoing comes from the enemy's cruelty and unjust treatment of us. We are innocent of the charges against us, charges created by cruel design. Our enemies are more guilty than we are. They created then our need, then to respond in kind. Which brings us to the dissertation. We begin with chapter 14, My People's Transgressions, the Book of Zion. Lamentations 4, 6 to 8 becomes Zion 14, 1 to 3. The punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hands stayed on her. Her Zionites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. Their visage is blacker than coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. Lamentations 4, 8, 6 to 8 talks about how cruel the war on drugs is and the effect it's had on the people of Zion. Jeremiah tells us that the punishments inflicted by the government is far worse than what the Grey did to Sodom. Sodom was annihilated in a moment, but the suffering of the people of Zion has gone on for 80 years or more. I have to ask, what have me and my people truly done that is so terrible that you think you have the right to treat us so badly? We are no worse than you. In fact, we were better than you until you turned us into people more like you. Our first true generation of Zionites were those people who were the flower children and the hippies of the 60s and 70s. I'm one of them. We were a very peaceful, loving people. We were righteous and glorious to behold. We valued what the Grey valued. We were beautiful. We protested the evil of war, and we spurned the use of money. Our forefathers, the hippies, embodied everything righteous about us. Then, the prohibition on drugs became a war against the most peaceful people on earth. We, in all our glory, made them see just how hypocritical they truly were, and they hated us for it. The light punishment of the Grey had worked too well. The government turned ugly. Laws were passed to intensify the oppression of drug users, and along with it, the suppression of the people created by the Grey. The war on drugs was implemented to prevent my people from realizing our true potential. Drug laws attempted to prevent the Grey from interfering in human affairs by suppressing drug use. As long as the drug users remained in a state of chaos with no sense of identity, the society we live in can go on with business as usual. We can and will change society in a very beneficial and profound way. Our ability to communicate with the Grey will destroy our current greed-based economy because they don't use money. So the war on drugs is necessary for society to continue with business as usual. The cruelty of the war on the children of Zion has manifested itself in the now violent nature of the adult population. Our rioting and the violence in our music testifies to the depths of our spiritual corruption. The war on drugs has done us great harm. Which brings us to Isaiah 58, 1 to 7, which is Zion 14, 4 to 10. Cry aloud, spare not. lift up the voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sin. Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness, and forsook not the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to God. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Behold, you fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. You shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Is it such a fast that I have chosen? A day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head to as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast, and an acceptable day of the Lord? Is this not the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bonds of wickedness, and to undo the heavy burden, and to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke? Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bringest the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seest the naked, that thou coverest him, and that thou hidest not thyself from thine own flesh. Isaiah 57 or 58, 1-7. This passage is about one of our most prolific drugs, methamphetamine. It is in the biblical sense the means by which my people fast. The use of fasting in religion goes way back in history. It is practiced by many religions, but our fast is seen as a terrible sin, and its current use is wrong, but not for the reasons that it's illegal. So let's take a closer look at meth and its current use, and why the Gray created it. When we use meth, we fast. To fast, you must deny yourself food, and you must restrict your fluid intake. That is the current most popular idea of a fast in our society. Meth does qualify as a cheat on a religious fast like Ramadan. But other forms of fasting does occur. Native Americans have a long tradition of fasting as a rite of passage from childhood into adulthood. They also use the fast for vision quests, to obtain higher knowledge, and to communicate with higher powers. This older form of fasting to quest is more in line with our use of meth because it also incorporates sleep deprivation. In a native fast, the suppliant went off alone. They would go without food, water, and sleep for as many days as it took to enter into a visionary state. This is our form of fasting. And it isn't a cheat at all. The use of psychedelic drugs has a history as long as humanity. Its use has always been for visions and to communicate with higher powers. That is what meth is truly for. Those who use it sacrifice their health for the knowledge gained. Meth is our tool for fasting and for vision quest. So may the Gray watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. And may they teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find joy and pursue it. Make that your guild choice. Stay happy and high. If you do drugs, you have every right and reason to. Know I love you. Later, I'll never say goodbye.